Good morning. Do you see this? I remember the days when I was in England and when I'd wake up, sometimes before my alarm, sometimes with my alarm, and I'd literally rush to the window and just begin to pew my blinds and be like, wondering whether there's a blue sky or a grey sky, and I'd go, and I'd go, all right then, let's get the day started. And I'd do that and I'd just get dressed, and it would have such an impact on my mood and such an impact on my happiness for the day immediately. And the beautiful thing about being in Thailand is that the weather is consistent and it's basically summer all year round. And to be fortunate enough for us to be living in this villa, and I mean, I don't even close my blinds, so my door is literally like this, yeah? I wake up, that's the first thing that I see, and immediately I want to get up, and it doesn't matter if it's 6 a.m. or 7 a.m, it's before my alarm. I just want to get up and go and live my life, and that's what we do basically every single day. We go to the beach and we do our morning rituals, and when you can do that, you feel grounded, you feel connected, you feel in alignment with who you really are, which is, well, we're part of nature, right? So when you go into nature and you connect with it, and this is how you start every single day, it's beautiful. Honestly, I'm so grateful to be able to experience this. And if you are planning on doing something like this, moving to Thailand, going to Thailand, maybe anywhere in Asia, it doesn't even have to be specifically Thailand, but since we are here, obviously this is the example, and it is absolutely God's gift. So I would definitely recommend anyone to experience it for yourself, because it is nectar. So we're just chilling at the beach, we've done our morning rituals, and I'm currently reading The Mental Game of Trading for the second time now. And I remember when I was reading it for the first time, it was a lot to take in, because when you've never understood that there is so many different deep internal habits, especially unconscious habits that we're not aware of, that actually control 99% of our day-to-day life. It was a paradigm shift, right? So yeah, this book, The Mental Game of Trading, if you want to up your game emotionally, if you're struggling because you're chasing losses, you're reacting, you're constantly giving profits back to the market, this book is for you. And there's a reason why I'm reading it for the second time, because it's solidifying everything. And I've got my highlighter. I don't know if you use this, but as you can see on my book, the most important parts always get highlighted. So I always take this with me. This is, other than the book, this is one of my best friends. We was going to hit up the ocean, but instead what we decided to do was we're going to go and do a yoga class on the beach in Lamai, which is 30 minutes away. So it's a beautiful drive. So let's go. So just arrived at a yoga spot. Look at this, it's like one of them Zen gardens. Look at that.
Where do you reckon we've got to pay?
How was your first ever yoga class?
That's pretty damn good.
How do you feel?
I feel like I've had lower back pain the past 2 days, and it just feels so at ease right now. I used to think yoga was for weirdos, but I used to think that shit is I never really understood the actual fruits and the benefits of it. But just after that, I feel great. I actually feel like I want to do more.
Your destination is on the left.
Meal prep, beachside. Seen the talent, the precision of how the chicken is structured in this. Yes,
just thinking that life is actually so simple. It's people that complicate it in every aspect. Like the way God made this universe is exactly how it's meant to be. And all the laws are exactly how they're supposed to be as well. You know, the only time that we experience any sort of suffering or pain, 90% of it is self-inflicted because we can't process the information correctly in our minds. Instead of accepting a lot of the things that happen to us and overcoming them, instead we become the victim. It actually slows our progress down, and then it makes us feel uncomfortable. So when we feel uncomfortable in our own skin, we either blame others or we put our head in the sand. The best and easiest way to deal with your problems is to go right through them, is to not lie to yourself, not lie to others, but instead just being honest and understanding that sometimes, at some points in life, you're going to feel that resistance, you're going to feel pain, you're going to feel suffering, but instead of running away from it, why not just sit with yourself in silence and actually try and understand what it actually is that's coming up? Because this is why it relates so much to trading, because we've been conditioned to believe from whoever, whenever, that emotions are a bad thing, that when you feel a certain way, that's just what it is. But it's actually a sign and a signal that comes up for us to deal with the problem, for us to deal with the circumstance and whatever is actually happening. That's the most beautiful thing. Like after you've done a yoga class like we've just done now, I feel really present and I feel really connected to everything, especially myself and God. And whatever comes up to the surface then, because you've purified your mind and your body, it creates mental and emotional space to think clearly and to act from consciousness. So it increases the probability of actually making the right decision and being the best version of yourself. That's literally how simple life can be at times. And again, what I said to you before is, just because life is supposed to be simple doesn't mean it's always going to be. Especially when we least expect it, the universe just goes, slaps us around the face and be like, no, don't do that, do this instead. It's very humbling because it literally happens when we least expect it. When a lot of the times when we're on a high and we think everything's perfect, and all of a sudden, oh shit, where did that come from? And then we think, oh, life's punishing us, or we've done something bad. It's not necessarily anything to do with that. It's the highs and lows, the peaks and valleys of life that happen.
How warm is that? And this is what life's about. Breaking through the societal norms of, oh, it's raining, let's not do this, I don't want to get wet and all this. You see a pool and it's absolutely hammering down and it doesn't want to make you want to jump into it. What's going to happen? You're going to get a bit wet. In fact, that was actually really warm, and I'm still warm now. The rain is cold because it's obviously coming from up there. That's just allowed me to now remember that I can do anything. Everything is possible. The only limit is your own mind and the story that you keep telling yourself as to why you can't do something, why you can't get somewhere. It's all bullshit. We've been born, we've been given life. We have the ability to learn skills and develop and learn new languages. Look at where we are. Like, look at this planet. Like, look what's around us. The abundance, the gifts, nature, the beauty of just everything. Everything, honestly. Life is so beautiful, and it doesn't matter whether things are going well or they're not going well. Life is suffering. The full experience of being human, wanting to be happy, brings the equal opposite, which is sadness and unhappiness, because we live in a world of polarity. So that what may now be bringing you a lot of happiness can also bring you sadness and unhappiness and suffering at the same time. It doesn't matter whether you're high on life right now or whether you're down in the dirt at rock bottom. It's just like the weather. Like that rain is here now, and the rain will go away. The sun will take over, and then the atmosphere, the energy, the vibration, everything changes. We feel differently because the circumstances have changed. Why in the world would we just not go for it? Why would we not be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be in this lifetime? We know that we're going to die. This body decays. Eventually, this body will no longer be here. We will transcend and evolve into something or someone else, because that's just what happens, right? Well, that's what I believe anyway. But there you go. What are the chances? I just said that and thunder just went boom. I truly believe that we have unlimited potential to be, do, have whatever it is that we want. And in reality, it's actually not attaining more and gaining more. It's actually letting go of every thought, idea, and construct of who you think you are. Because who you think you are, you're probably not. You know, you're not your job, you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, you're not even your ideas. Of course, manifestation is incredible, and we can think and feel, take action and create, which is amazing. But all of this is from God. God is the one that's creating through us. Everything that you have in your life right now, everything that you've been given, that's it. You've been given everything. So it's the cars, the watches, the traveling, the family, the materialistic items, the lifestyle, all of it. You've been given that by God. Whether you believe that, whether you don't believe in that, that's literally the process of how things occur. You know, nothing can't be done without God. Does that make sense?
Nothing, lad, nothing.
Nothing. Good evening. So, massage done at our last meal of the day. Now we're just on the charts, having a look at GBP USD, see if there's anything specifically going on. So we only trade New York session. We used to trade London session all the time, and then realized that a lot of main moves and a lot of moves that happen with a lot of volume, a lot of speed tend to happen in New York. So I literally dusted off London, and then we only trade in New York. So I think it's been about a good 3 to 6 months around the time I came to Thailand, I think it was. But anyway, so I just want to quickly show you, because how the market works, sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. So it doesn't matter how good you are, how good your skill set is. Sometimes when you're trying to read price and trying to connect all the dots of where liquidity is, where it was taken, where's break even, stop losses, sometimes it literally just doesn't make sense. Not that it doesn't make sense, but price is a little bit harder to read. Okay, so even for me, you know, I've burned my eyeballs on this stuff for nearly 10 years now, and even to this day, sometimes price doesn't show anything significant. So there's no point wasting time, because either there's no volume or there's no opportunities, so you may as well just let the price go. But anyway, so this is the chart. Just flip it over. So as you can see, so we had this build up of liquidity here. So let me just get the arrow out. So you can see we basically trapped sellers to the downside and then stopped them out during Frankfurt, had a little pullback, had our first initial break there. Price pushed up, London opened, price pulled back, retested, so break and retest traders obviously entered, price broke structure, so breakout traders entered, then we reached a previous weekly high, started messing around a little bit, breakout traders entered again, we peaked, we reacted, we mitigated, then we broke structure to the downside. So now we're doing a koch or a choch, what most people would call it. So smart money traders would see that as change of character, and they would basically start selling. So obviously that's a trap. The stop loss is there. Then we had our second initial breakout to the downside here. So breakout traders enter, stop loss above. Smart money traders enter, stop loss above here. And now you can see here. Let me just zoom in on that. You can see there. If you look left, breakout traders entered here, right? So these guys have obviously not got their stop losses anymore there, because price broke out, and then it broke out again, right? So as these breakout traders entered and put their stop loss below, these guys obviously want to protect their capital, right? So this is what they do. They basically get their stop loss, put it at break even, right? So that's where the break even stop loss is, and then look where price is now. So now it's stopping them out. So we're gonna see and watch the reaction of this zone to see if price pushes up with speed to potentially stop out these breakout traders and smart money traders, because there's no liquidity down here really that's significant. There's more liquidity being built up intraday there, so we'll keep you updated. All right, literally 5 to 10 minutes later, look at the reaction. Beautiful. So on the M1 we broke internal structure, which is perfect because most people obviously are not buying from this zone. Most people obviously selling, so we have a break. Potential break and retest traders will be selling. If we have a rejection, that would be beautiful because then it will bring us back to POI. So our point of interest is where we buy from. And we looked for something like this, right? I was going to get in on the extreme entry, but I thought I'll be a bit more conservative today because we've already traded 2 days this week. It's obviously Wednesday. So this would be, if we were to target just to their entries, it would almost be a 1 to 10 intraday. So this is what I mean. So our strategy that we use in the market is very, very unique, and it is literally, well, it's the most powerful, right? There's only pure intention. There's no accidents. There's no random price action. We don't get in for no reason. Everything is context, excuse me, and everything makes complete sense as to why you enter the trade, why the stop loss goes where it goes, and why the entry goes where it goes as well. But anyway, so obviously I didn't even manage to get into this, but this is exactly what I was trying to explain. So it's just moving. It's not stopping for anybody. So now we're going to see if we can get a reaction around this area and potentially a mitigation of our POI to buy into the continuation. Okay, very, very interesting. So because I was filming this video to show you in the charts, I obviously missed the entry myself because I would have already initially got in. But as I was filming and explaining it, that's when it started to go. But anyway, look, news came out, and what a surprise, eh? Look at that. Almost the 1 to 9, hitting 369 in 12 minutes. The power of understanding precision and why we enter where we enter makes complete sense. Pure intention. There's no liquidity down south, only liquidity up north. We're trading intraday, and yeah, sometimes you miss absolutely fire setups because you're trying to show others